your number, then put down the phone. Knew that an apology couldn't stand alone. Spent too many weeks defending my side. Lost what we had while protecting my pride. Now there's one truth I can finally say: I should've listened before you walked away. You gave me chances I didn't receive. Asked me for honesty, not guarantees. Whenever you told me that something felt wrong, I made you feel guilty for taking too long. Thought being right would keep us secure. Never considered what love had to endure. Then came the evening you looked in my eyes, said you were tired of hearing replies. Maybe forgiveness is too much to ask for. Maybe your life has already moved on. Still I can't leave what I should have admitted, buried beneath all the damage I've done. Hands to heaven, I've got nothing to hide. No more excuses, no reason to lie. I was the one who kept pushing away, someone who only wanted me to stay. Give me no promise, just hear what is true. I finally know what I put you through. If there's one chance you can understand, I'm asking for mercy with open hands. Met your old friend near the end of last week. She said you're doing much better these days. Hearing those words gave me comfort and pain. Glad you recovered from what I became. Started to write you, then stopped after one line. Didn't want guilt to disturb your new life. This isn't written to bring you back home. I only regret that I learned this alone. Now I can see that a real apology doesn't demand to be welcomed or heard. Sometimes the best that a person can offer is changing the meaning behind every word. Take what I say without owing me anything. Keep all the distance you need to feel free. I won't keep reaching or asking for answers. You've given more than enough time to me. What I did wrong will remain mine to carry, not as a wound, but a reason to change. If you remember the love that we started, I hope the good parts can still keep their place. I used to think being sorry meant speaking. Now I believe it means living it out, treating the next person with more understanding, learning to listen before there is doubt. You may never know how much I have changed since. That isn't something I need you to see. All I can do is respect your decision and become someone I should have been then. So this is goodbye without asking forgiveness. I wish you a good life wherever you are.
Thought I was finished with looking behind. Stopped asking friends if you ever asked about me. Packed up the memories I wanted to keep. Left them alone and got on with my life. Then someone mentioned your name by surprise. Something I felt made me question that choice.
We ended calmly, or so I believed. No final argument, no need to leave angry. You said we wanted two different things. I said I understood what that would mean.
Months went by and I learned how to manage. Filled up my days and got used to the change.
Still, when I heard you were coming back here,
I couldn't pretend that I felt nothing strange.
maybe a feeling can stay without asking. Maybe it doesn't mean we should return. Seeing the truth isn't making a promise. Some kinds of love take much longer to learn.
The flame is still there, though I tried to move on.
Quiet and steady after you've gone.
I don't need to follow wherever it leads.
Don't have to turn it to something I need.
Part of me loves you,
And that may remain.
without becoming a reason for pain.
I stopped pretending the feeling is gone,
The flame is still there.
but I'm carrying on.
Met you by chance through a friend that we knew. You seemed more settled, I probably did too. Talked about work and the places we'd seen. Nothing was awkward, nothing too deep.
Before you left, you asked if I was okay. I gave you an answer and meant what I said. Walking away, I expected regret.
Instead I felt lighter than I had in years.
Now I can hold what we had without reaching. Let it be part of the person I've grown. Loving someone doesn't always mean staying. Sometimes it means leaving their future alone.
Keep what was good without asking for more.
Leave all the hurt where it happened before.
I can remember the life that we shared
Without making plans from the fact that I care.
You were important,
That hasn't been changed.
still I've accepted we're not the same.
What remains doesn't have to decide.
How I will live for the rest of my life.
There was a time when I feared every memory.
Thought moving forward meant feeling no love. ask you to carry what I haven't said.
Some love can stay without asking for answers.
And I can't let that be all that it is. Saved a few hopes I was scared to discuss. Kept them protected from people I trust. Thought if I named them they'd somehow feel small. So I kept waiting and saying nothing at all. Then you asked what I wanted from life. For once I answered without thinking twice. Told you I wanted a reason to wake. Proud of the choices and chances I'd take. Not just a paycheck or praise from a crowd. Something that made me feel quietly proud. You didn't laugh or tell me to wait. Asked what was stopping me starting today. That conversation stayed in my head long after both of us finished what we said. Maybe a wish isn't meant to stay hidden. Maybe it changes when given a name. Having someone who takes you seriously can give you the courage to enter the game. Wishing well, I've been holding this dream longer than anyone ever has seen. Not asking fortune to hand me away. I know that wanting means working each day. Keep me reminded when confidence falls. Why I decided to answer this call. Whatever happens, at least I can tell I gave what I had to my wishing well. Started out slowly and made my mistakes. Some people doubted the chances I'd take. Lost a little money, wasted some time. Wondered if quitting would feel more kind. You never told me success was assured. Only reminded me why I had started. That was enough to get up once again. Try something different and learn where I'd failed. Now what I wanted has changed in the doing. Less about winning and more about growth. Dreams become real in the choices we live by, not in the wishes we quietly hold. Let me keep going without needing praise. Learning to value the work and the days. Failure can teach me what comfort cannot. Progress is sometimes much slower than thought. Nothing is promised and that's understood. Still I can build something honest and good. Years from today when I think of myself, I wanna know I gave everything well. I used to wait for the right kind of feeling, thinking that courage would come before fear. Now I can move while my hands are uncertain. Take one more chance and keep what matters near. You help me see that believing is action, something repeated when nobody knows. So if the dream takes much longer than planned, I'll keep becoming the person who grows. No need for luck to decide where I'm going. The wish gave me purpose. The work makes it real. Never stayed long when a place felt too small. Kept my own plans and answered no calls. Friends used to say I was hard to slow down. Always had reasons for leaving town. Then you walked in with that look on your face. Made me consider remaining in place.
Met you one evening through people we knew. You spoke your mind like you always would do. Didn't seem worried if I was impressed. That kind of confidence caught my interest.
Asked where I'd been, what I wanted next.
I gave you answers that sounded rehearsed.
You smiled and told me I talked like a man.
Always preparing an easier escape.
Maybe you saw what I kept from admitting.
Freedom had started to feel like a wall.
Running was easy when no one expected
Anything lasting from me at all. Wild, wild west, I've been living that way. Going wherever I wanted to stay. Never believed I could need someone near. Now you're the reason I'm facing that fear. Don't ask me yet for a promise too strong. Give me some time to learn where I belong. For the first time I don't wanna move on. Wild, wild west.
maybe my running is done. 3 months went by and I started to change.
Turned down a trip I had wanted for days.
You never asked me to alter my plans.
Still I kept wanting more time in your hands.
One afternoon you asked if I'd regret
Giving up things I had not finished yet.
told you that staying was something I chose.
Not an agreement that somebody owed.
Now I can leave and still know I'll return here.
Having a reason to come back feels good.
Love doesn't have to take freedom away.
Being committed can still be a choice. Keep your own plans and I'll keep some of mine. Meet me halfway when we both have the time. Tell me the truth if I'm pulling away. I'll do the same when you need your own space. No one can promise we'll always agree. Still I can stay without losing what's me. After a lifetime of moving alone, I found one person who feels worth coming home.
Used to believe every tie was a burden.
Thought independence meant needing no one.
Now I can see there is strength in returning.
Choosing one person when running is done.
You didn't change me by making demands.
You let me decide what I wanted to give.
So if tomorrow still finds me beside you,
Know that I'm here because this is my will.
the road can continue without me escaping. For once I have somewhere I wanna remain.
Found your old letter among things I'd saved. Read every line and remembered those days. You had a way of making me slow down, turning my worries whenever you came around. Back then I never said half of what I knew. Growing older made me understand you. You'd call my name when I stayed out too long. Ask where I'd been without proving me wrong. Knew by my face when something wasn't right. Waited until I was ready to talk. Friends came and went as the years moved along. You stayed the person I counted upon, even when distance kept us apart. Nothing could change how I carried your heart. Maybe I thought there'd be time to explain it, all of the things I was too young to say. Looking back now, I can see what you gave me. Love that expected no price to be paid. Sweet child of mine, you still bring me peace. Some kinds of love never ask to be seen. You gave me patience when I had none left. Stayed close enough when I doubted myself. Years may have changed how we live day to day. Still what you taught me has never gone away. Wherever I go, whatever I find, part of me stays with you, sweet child of mine. Saw you last summer, we talked for a while. You tried to hide how much life made you tired. I wanted to tell you to lean on me now. Let me return what you gave me somehow. This time I listened and didn't give answers. Didn't pretend I could fix every matter. You looked at me then and started to smile. Said being together was enough for a while. Now I can see how the years rearrange us. Someone who cared for me needs my care too. Love isn't only receiving protection. Sometimes it's learning to give it back to you. Keep what you need and don't carry it all. Call me whenever the days feel too long. Let me be someone you trust with the truth. Someone who stays without asking you to. All that you gave me still guides what I do. Every hard lesson feels softer with you. Nothing can measure the place that you hold. You're still the person I want, close as we grow old. There was a time when I thought growing older meant walking farther from where I began. Now I understand every choice that I make carries the kindness I learned from your hands. If I can give you a little more comfort, if I can listen when words come out slow, that will be enough for the years still before us. You've done more for me than you may ever know. So when I tell you how much you still matter, believe me this time, because I finally understand. Tried to keep things easy from the start. Said I could enjoy this without giving my heart. Kept every feeling under control. Then you got closer than I'd planned to let you go. Now one small change in the way that you speak can stay on my mind for the rest of the week. Called you on Monday, you sounded far away. Asked if you're fine, you had little to say. Normally I'd leave it and carry on. This time the worry stayed after you were gone. Friends say I'm reading too much into things. Maybe they're right about what caring brings. Still, when your name comes up out of the blue, everything in me turns back to you. Didn't expect to care this much. Thought I could keep my distance somehow. Being with you changed all my answers. There's no use denying it now. So emotional whenever you're near. One little word can bring hope or fear. Can't keep pretending you don't affect me. You've become more than I wanted to need. Some days I'm certain, some days I'm confused. Still every feeling comes back to you. Love wasn't part of the plan I had made. Now I'm so emotional, and I can't look away. Yesterday evening, we finally talked. You said my silence had made you feel lost. Didn't defend it or say you were wrong. Admitted I'd hidden my feelings too long. Told you I worry that needing someone could leave me alone if the good days were done. You took your time before answering me. Said being afraid doesn't mean we should leave. Something became a little less heavy once I stopped trying to hide what was true. Maybe the risk of loving somebody is worth it when that somebody is you. Let me be open without losing control. Tell you the parts that I usually hold. Stay when I'm quiet and ask what I mean. Give me the time to say what I need. I won't pretend that I'm fearless with love. There may be moments when trust isn't enough. Still, I would rather be honest with you than keep every feeling where nobody gets through. I've spent too long making sure I was guarded, thinking that distance would keep me secure. Now I can see what I missed by avoiding anything honest, uncertain, or pure. Being affected doesn't make me weaker. Caring this much isn't something to hide. So if you ask me what changed between us, I'll tell you the truth. without stepping aside. You reached the part of me I kept protected, and loving you taught me to let someone inside.
We talked for hours without solving a thing. Neither was angry or asking to win. Something between us had changed over time. Hard to explain, but we both knew the signs.
Once I would fight just to keep us the same. Now I can see that we both need to change.
You started wanting a different kind of life. More room to travel, more time on your own. I kept believing we'd work it all out if we stayed patient and waited somehow.
Then came the day when you spoke without fear. Said you still loved me but couldn't stay here. Hearing those words was harder than blame. Love was still present, but we weren't the same.
Perhaps holding on isn't always devotion. Perhaps letting go can be honest and kind.
What we once needed has changed as we've grown.
Neither of us has to leave
Love behind. Seasons change and people do too. Some things remain, some feelings move through. We can be grateful for all that we share without making promises neither can bear. I won't make leaving a reason for blame. You don't have to stay just to keep things the same.
what we were mattered, whatever comes next.
Seasons change, and I wish you the best.
Helped you pack things that belong to your life.
Stopped when we found an old photograph.
Both of us smiled at the people we'd been.
Young enough then to believe love would win.
You asked if someday we'd talk as old friends.
I said I hope so, but couldn't say when.
Before you left, we stood close for a while.
No need for speeches or forcing a smile.
Now that the days have begun feeling different,
I miss you less than I feared that I would.
not because loving you meant any less.
I think accepting the truth did me good. Keep all the memories that help you move forward. Leave what was painful and learn what you can.
I'll do the same as I build something different.
Neither of us needs to follow a plan.
Maybe our paths will cross later in life.
Maybe we'll only remember sometimes.
Either way, I won't regret what we gave.
Change doesn't mean that our love was a waste.
I've learned that endings don't cancel affection.
People can part without making love wrong.
Some relationships finish with anger.
Ours became quiet when holding felt forced.
I'll miss the person I knew for those years,
And respect the person you're choosing to be.
if someone asks what you meant in my story,
I'll say you helped me become more complete.
go where you need to.
And I'll do the same.
What we once had
Was enough for its time. Had a few plans that didn't work out. Changed my direction and lived with the doubt. You took it easy when I lost my way. Said we could handle one thing every day. That's when I learned what I needed to know. Life gets much lighter when you let some things go. Lost my old job near the end of the spring. Spent several weeks worrying over everything. You never told me to hurry or prove, just asked what kind of life I wanted to choose. We made some changes and cut back our plans. Took what we had and did what we can. Funny how trouble can show you what's real. Having you near made the hard days easier to deal. Maybe control was the thing that exhausted me. Trying to know every turn in advance. Now I can face what I never expected without believing I've missed my last chance. Roll with it, take it as it comes. Some days are heavy, some days are fun. Keep a little patience when plans go wrong. Give yourself time before moving along. Roll with it, don't carry it all. Nobody wins every time that they fall. As long as we're honest and willing to try, we'll find our own way without asking why. Months later, someone offered me work. Less money at first, but it felt more worthwhile. I almost refused because pride got involved. You asked if being happy mattered at all. That simple question stayed in my head. Helped me decide what I wanted instead. Took the new chance and started again. Found out that change doesn't mean that you lose in the end. These days I don't need a perfect direction. Enough is enough when the people are true. Being uncertain no longer feels frightening. I've learned how much I can handle with you. Take what is good and learn from the rest. Don't make tomorrow another hard test. Plans can be broken and still leave you room. Something unexpected may turn out good too. Keep moving forward. trouble instead of complaining. You taught me living is more than preparing. Sometimes we have to accept what we get. I'll keep my hopes without making them heavy, and give myself room to make mistakes yet. Whatever comes next, I don't need to control it. I'm ready to meet it with you by my side.
Wrote down the things I was afraid to admit, crossed out the parts that were blaming you still. Read them again and could finally see how much of our trouble had started with me. This isn't a promise that I'll never fail. I'm asking to show you I've learned something real.
Back when you needed me most, I withdrew, made every problem feel harder for you. Said I was tired when you wanted to talk, left you alone with the weight of it all. Later you told me your trust had worn thin. Apologies couldn't repair where we'd been. That was the first time I stopped making claims and faced what I lost without calling you names.
Perhaps there's no way to change your decision.
Perhaps I arrived at the truth far too late.
Still, if a part of you wants to believe me,
give me the chance to show I can change.
one more try is all I can ask. Not for the future, not for the past. Let me be present and do what I say.
Show you I'm different in small, honest ways.
You don't have to trust every word from me now.
I'll give you the time to decide for yourself. If there's a chance we can start something new,
Give me one more try,
and I'll leave it to you.
Saw you on Friday and stayed where I stood. Didn't come closer though part of me would. You gave a small smile and asked how I'd been. I answered plainly, no story between.
Said I was working on hearing things through, learning that love isn't only what I feel.
Before you walked off, you looked back once more.
Something about it felt different than before.
That little moment gave nothing for certain.
Yet I don't need to turn hoping to prove.
Whatever happens, I'll keep what I've learned here.
Being more honest is something I choose.
Take all the time that you need to consider. Watch what I do instead of what I claim. I'll keep my distance if that's what helps you.
Never confuse being sorry with blame.
Maybe we'll find that our lives fit together.
Maybe the damage has changed us too much. Either way, I won't ask you to save me.
Love should be freely returned,
Not pushed.
I've learned a second chance isn't deserved
Simply because someone finally has changed.
It has to come from the person who's hurting,
Free of persuasion, obligation, or shame.
so I'll keep becoming more patient and steady.
Whether you join me or choose your own road,
If you come back, I'll receive you with gratitude.
if you don't, I'll respect what you chose. This time I'm ready to live with your answer,
And mean every word when I say
that I will. Took me a while to understand what lasts. Easy affection can disappear fast. trouble and said things too hard, still found a reason to lower our guard. Leaving would save me from trying again. That's not the ending I want for us now. Last time we talked, you were ready to go. Said you were tired of moving too slow. I didn't stop you or ask you to stay. Pride had already got in the way. Later I thought of the look on your face, how I kept quiet when words had a place. Called you and told you I handled it wrong. Asked if you'd listen before moving on. Love isn't easy because we both want it. Trust doesn't grow from a promise alone. Give me the chance to be more understanding. I'll show you why you don't face this alone. Never gonna give you up when things get hard. Never gonna turn away and guard my heart. Let me be the one who stays and works it through. Let me keep becoming someone good for you. We can have our doubts and still remain. We can speak the truth without causing more pain. After all the ways we've learned to start again, never gonna give you up because I know what you mean. Since that conversation, something has changed. We don't let small things stay unexplained. You tell me sooner when I've crossed a line. I try to listen instead of buying time. Sunday we talked about where we went wrong. Neither defended the past for too long. You said forgiveness is harder than love. I said I'm ready to do enough. Now when I think of the years still before us, perfect is never the promise I make. What I can offer is honest attention and the decision to learn from mistakes. Staying beside you is more than a phrase. It means showing up on ordinary days. Speaking with care when I'm angry or tired. Keeping respect when our patience is tried. Maybe the future will test us again. Maybe we'll question the choices we've made. Still I won't leave just to make things less tough. I've made my decision. I'm not giving up. If you need time, I can give you some space. If I need help, I'll be willing to say. We don't have to solve every problem tonight. Being together means learning what's right. I used to think love was proved by strong words. Now I believe it is shown when they're heard. So take my hand only if you still choose. I'll stay beside you with nothing to prove. No grand declaration, no promise too large. Just someone who means it and keeps doing his part. but you stayed on my mind. Called up a friend just to pass some time. Ended the talk before the evening arrived. There's only one thing I want to do. Spend a little time getting close to you. You left a message saying you'd be late. Told me not to worry or stay up and wait. Tried to act easy, said I'd be alright. Still check the clock more than once tonight. Lately we've both had too much going on. Short conversations, then one of us is gone. Being apart has made one thing clear. Having you close is what I need right here. Maybe I've taken our time for granted, thinking we'd always have more to spare. Now all I want is a quiet moment, knowing you'll soon be standing there. Need you tonight, more than I want to admit. Want your attention, every little bit. Come sit beside me, tell me where you've been. Let me feel close to you again. Don't need a promise about years from now. Just give me something honest somehow. Stay for a while and hold me near. Need you tonight, I need you here. We used to talk until we lost track of time. Now we're both tired before 9:30. Plans get changed and days fill up fast. Good intentions don't always last. Yesterday morning you reached for my hand, said we should stop letting life make demands. That simple touch stayed with me all day. Made me remember what I couldn't say. Being together takes more than wanting. Love needs a little room to grow. Tonight I don't want another distraction. There's something I need you to know. Come a little closer, leave the rest outside. Tell me what's been weighing on your mind. Give me the truth, even if it's hard. We've been too careful with our hearts. Maybe tomorrow we'll be busy again, running through places we've already been. For these few hours, nothing else feels right. I only want you with me tonight. I've learned that missing someone can happen, even when love hasn't gone anywhere. Two people can slowly lose connection by thinking there'll always be time to repair. So I'm not waiting for the perfect moment, or saving these words for another day. Stay close enough for me to speak plainly. I need you more than I've been able to say. Tonight I choose us over everything waiting, and that's the only thing I need you to understand.
took me too long to admit what was wrong. Blamed every setback on somebody else. Kept finding reasons to defend what I'd done. Never considered the hurt I had caused. One honest question changed how I looked back. What have I given besides what I ask? Called up my brother after nearly a year. We had stopped talking from things I had said. He didn't accuse me or bring up the past. Asked if I'd learned why the distance had grown. Couldn't keep hiding behind being proud. Told him I knew I had shut people out. That conversation stayed with me for days. Made me consider the choices I'd made. Change doesn't start with a speech or a promise. Nobody owes me another first chance. Looking at who I've become without hiding means taking care of the things that I can. Man in the mirror, tell me, what do you see? Someone who's honest, or who I pretend to be? Have I been given the care that I claim, or only expecting the world to change? Man in the mirror, don't look away. Face every choice that brought me today. Before I ask someone else to improve, I've got some work of my own left to do. Started with calling the people I'd failed. Some wouldn't answer, and that was their right. Others were willing to hear what I said. None of them needed to make me feel fine. Changed how I spoke when I wanted to judge. Stopped every argument needing a win. Progress was slower than I had expected. Still I could feel something better begin. Now when I make the same kind of mistake, I try to admit it before I defend. Being a better man isn't a finish, it's what I choose when I start once again. Look at the person who's making decisions. Ask if his actions agree with his words. Give without waiting for praise or attention. Listen before deciding who's heard. Nothing gets better by blaming the distance between what I wanted and what I became. If I can change how I treat those around me, maybe tomorrow won't look quite the same. I used to think that regret was enough. Feeling ashamed meant I'd paid for the past. Now I believe every lesson is useless unless what I do makes the difference last. I'll make mistakes and I'll need correction. People may doubt if my changes are real. They have the right to believe what they witness. Not every promise I want them to feel. So when I ask who I am becoming, I'll answer
each day.
Caught myself waiting to hear from you first. Didn't expect that your absence would hurt. Told myself maybe I'm used to your ways. That doesn't explain why I count down the days. Something has changed in the choices I make. Need to be sure what I'm willing to risk. We started talking with nothing in mind. Two people happy to pass a little time. Then I began saving stories for you, thinking about what you'd say or you'd do. Friends noticed first and asked me to admit. I laughed it away and said this wasn't it. Still, when you mentioned you might leave this town, I felt the kind of fear I couldn't put down. Could be I'm scared of losing a friendship. Could be my feelings have grown into more. All I can do is stop hiding the question and find out what I've been waiting for. Is this love? Or am I needing you near? Is this love? Or just the thought that you'll leave? Why does your happiness matter this much? Why do I notice each change in your touch? I don't need answers before I can speak. Only the courage to tell you what I need. If this is love, I don't wanna pretend. I'd rather be honest and risk what we have. Yesterday I finally asked you to meet. Had every sentence prepared in advance. When you arrived, all the words sounded wrong. So I said simply, I've cared for too long. You stayed quiet, then reached for my hand. Said you had wondered if I'd understand. Neither of us tried to promise too much. We only agreed not to hide from the truth. Now that the question is out in the open, something feels easier even with doubt. Love may be more than a clear declaration. Maybe it's learning to work something out. Call it whatever makes sense as we grow. Give it some time and let both of us know. I won't demand that you promise forever. You don't have to make every feeling certain. What we can offer is honest attention. Room to be careful and still move ahead. If this becomes love, we'll know by our choices, not by the words that we wanted to hear. I used to think I would know in a moment. Some sudden answer would settle my mind. Now I believe caring grows through decisions. How we respond when the timing isn't right. So I'll keep showing you who I am clearly. Ask what you feel and respect what you say. Whatever name we may give this between us, I won't let fear make me turn it away. Maybe the answer is already forming, and I'm finally ready to give it the time. from the start we would both have to change. Years have a way of rearranging our plans. Promises sounded too easy back then. Neither of us knew where life might have led. Now after all that we've learned on the way, loving you still feels like something I choose.
You knew me back when I questioned myself. Stayed through the times I was hard to be near. Never demanded an answer too soon. Gave me the room to become who I am.
Later when you had your own doubts to face, I tried to return what you'd given to me. That's when I learned love can change how it looks, without becoming less honest or deep. Maybe forever is too large to promise. Nobody knows what the years have in store.
Still I can tell you what I am deciding.
Each time tomorrow arrives at our door,
I'll always love you in ways I can show. Listen when you're hurting, give you room to grow. Stand beside you when the answers come slow.
tell you the truth when it's harder to know.
I won't pretend we'll be perfect each day.
Love can survive
When we both make a way. Whatever changes, whatever we do,
I'll keep on choosing
to care about you.
Last year we faced something neither expected. Both of us tired and unsure what to say.
Small disagreements became something larger, until we stopped hearing each other for days.
Then you sat down and admitted you missed me, even though I was still close to your side.
That simple sentence broke through my defenses. We started again without protecting our pride.
Now I understand, staying together means paying attention before love feels gone.
Care can grow quiet when people stop trying.
So I'll keep learning where I have been wrong.
Years may bring distance we don't see today. Plans may be changed in more than one way.
You may need freedom,
And I may need time.
neither of those things means love has to die.
I'll ask the questions I once kept inside.
Make room for
Feelings you don't wanna hide.
no perfect future,
Is promised as true.
still I can promise
To keep loving you.
There may come moments when we feel like strangers.
Days when affection,
It's harder to find
I won't use history
to keep you beside me
or make you feel guilty.
for changing your mind.
Love should be given
Not used as a reason.
to hold someone close when they need to be free.
So if the years ever
Take us in new ways.
I'll still be grateful.
For what you gave me,
But while we're together
I'll care with intention.
and choose you again.
As long as you choose me. Used to believe happiness waited somewhere, far from the trouble and weight that we bear. Spent years imagining life would begin once I with nowhere to be. Talked about plans that we might never keep. You told me stories I'd heard once before. I didn't mind, I just wanted some more. Stop for a while where the old road turned. You asked what all of my running had earned. Couldn't give answers that sounded complete. Only knew life felt much better with you next to me. Maybe I searched for too much in the distance, thinking contentment was something to find. Being beside you has changed my direction. Now I can see what was here all the time. Heaven is a place on earth when you're with me. Nothing has to be perfect or easy. Give me your time and the truth in your eyes. That's more than all of the dreams I could buy. Love doesn't need some impossible sign. It can be simple and still change a life. After the years I spent searching for more, heaven is knowing who I'm living for. Last week you asked if I still had regrets, things I had wanted but never could get. Thought for a moment, then told you the truth. Most of those wishes don't matter with you. We've had our trouble and days we withdrew, said things from anger we both wanted to undo. Still every lesson has helped me to see peace isn't given, it's something we build patiently. Now when the future feels hard to imagine, I don't need answers for all that may come. Knowing we'll speak when the distance gets wider gives me a reason to trust what we've done. Here in this life I have more than enough. Someone who knows me and still chooses love. Room to be honest, a reason to stay. Time to keep learning a better way. Nothing above us could offer me more than being welcome for who I am. After the places I thought I should find, I found what I needed right here by your side. I won't pretend every year will be gentle. Both of us know there are changes ahead. People grow older and plans can be different. Words can go wrong when we're worried or tired. Still, I can promise to keep paying attention, to ask what you need and to say what I feel. If there is heaven that people keep hoping for, maybe it's having one love that is real. No perfect ending, no life without trouble, just you beside me and that's enough for me. Made up my mind after talking it through. Kept finding reasons that led back to you. Friends had opinions, I heard everyone. None of them knew what we'd already done. Took me some time to admit what was true. Now there is only one choice I can make. Met you when neither of us wanted much. Kept things simple, never asked for trust. Weeks became months before I could see how much your presence was changing me. Started to notice the things that you meant. How you came back after each argument. Leaving was easy whenever I tried. Coming back showed me where I belonged. Maybe I needed to lose my direction before I could see what I wanted to choose. All of the questions that kept me uncertain don't have the power they used to. Got my mind set on you, and I mean what I say. No second choice waiting somewhere away. I've had enough time to know what I want. Done with pretending my feelings are not. Give me a reason, I'll meet you halfway. Tell me the truth, I can handle the weight. After the doubts and the things we've been through. Got my mind set on you. Last time we argued, I walked off alone. Thought being stubborn would help me move on. Hours went by and the anger got small. What I missed most was your voice when you'd call. Came back and told you I handled it wrong. You didn't rush me or make me feel small. That was the moment I knew what had changed. Love wasn't winning, it wasn't a game. Now I can listen without keeping score. Say when I'm wrong without turning away. Being together means learning each other, not finding reasons to leave when it's hard. This is the choice that I'm willing to make. Not for a moment or only today. Keep your own dreams and I'll stand by your side. Nothing about love should ask us to hide. We'll have our troubles, we'll disagree. Still, I can give you the best part of me. After the chances I almost refused, my mind is settled, I'm staying with you. Don't need to tell me that nothing will change. Both of us know that's too much to claim. Years can bring questions we haven't faced yet. Words can go wrong and leave us upset. I'll keep on learning the person you are. Speak when it matters and listen with care. Choosing you now doesn't mean I know all. It means when life gets hard, I won't disappear. What I decided came slowly and stayed. I'm here because loving you feels like my choice.
Saw you again while I slept last night. Woke up before I could say goodbye. Stayed there a while with the feeling you left. Tired of remembering more than I want. I've done my best to get on with my days. Still part of me keeps bringing you back.
Friends stopped asking if I miss you now. They think enough time has settled me down. I go to work and I laugh when I can, make new arrangements and follow my plans. Then without warning I think of your voice. Remember the way we once made every choice. Nothing dramatic, no reason to call, just little reminders I don't want at all.
Maybe forgetting is asking too much. Maybe I only need room to move on. Keeping you close in the life that I imagine makes every good day harder to trust.
Get out of my dreams, let me sleep through the night. Stop bringing back what I know isn't mine. I gave you enough of the years that we had. Don't make me wake up still wanting them back. Leave me the good and take away the need. Let me remember without losing sleep. I don't want anger, I don't want revenge. Get out of my dreams and let this thing end.
Last month I heard you were seeing someone. Felt something turn but I didn't come undone. Walked for an hour and thought about why. Part of me wanted to ask if it's right.
Then I remembered the choice that we made. Neither of us could keep living that way. You have your future and I have mine too. Knowing that fact is what I have to use.
Now I can admit that the hardest part isn't losing the person who once shared my days.
It's letting go of the life I imagined and finding a future that doesn't need your name. Take back the plans that were never completed. Leave me the lessons I learned when we ended. I can be lonely without turning around. I can feel hurt without letting it drown me. Sooner or later these nights will get easier. Someone may come and I'll let myself care. Until that happens I'll keep moving forward, making a life where you're no longer there.
I don't need one more conversation.
We've already said what we needed to say.
Calling you now would only delay me
from learning to live in a different way.
So when you return in the middle of sleeping,
I'll remind myself you're a memory now. What we once had can remain in the past without becoming the life I live out.
I'm ready to wake with my mind on tomorrow
and leave you behind when the morning comes. Asked myself what matters when the hard days come. Turns out the answer hasn't changed at all. Could have chosen easier roads before. Still being close to you was worth much more. There are things I don't need to explain. Staying beside you has always felt felt plain. You saw the parts I tried to keep away, never made me prove I deserved your care. Hard weeks came and tested what we had. Neither of us knew how long they'd last. We had our doubts, we had our separate fears. Some conversations took us close to tears. Yet every time I thought about leaving, something in me knew what I believed in. Maybe trust is not a perfect feeling. Maybe love is choosing to remain. After all the promises get questioned, I can still look at you the same. Faith is staying when the answer isn't clear, holding on without pretending there's no fear, giving us another chance to make things right, knowing we can talk through one more difficult night. What I feel for you has never needed proof. All these years have only brought me closer to the truth. Even if the future changes what we planned, faith is knowing I still want to hold your hand. There were days we hardly understood why the smallest words could hurt so much. Pride kept both of us from saying sorry. Distance grew when neither one would touch. Then you called and spoke without defenses, told me you were tired of keeping score. That was when I finally understood it. Love can ask us to become much more. Now I know belief is not ignoring every reason we could lose our way. It's the choice to hear each other clearly and come back when walking out feels safe. Nothing guarantees we'll never change. Life can turn familiar plans around. Still, I'd rather face the years beside you than protect myself by backing down. What we built was never made from easy answers. It came from every time we chose to understand. After everything we've had to work through, I believe in us because I know who we became. So if tomorrow asks a little more of us, I'll listen before I decide what something means. Let the past remind us what we've learned, not become a reason to repeat old scenes. I don't need forever spoken perfectly, or promises that no one can control. Just keep meeting me with patience and the truth. That's enough for me to give this love my whole. Found myself thinking about what we missed, not because I wanna go back and fix it. Back then we both had a reason to wait. Neither one wanted to speak before it was too late. Funny how clearly I see it We had something real and let it get away. You used to call when you couldn't sleep, talk about things that you wanted to keep. Never said love, but we came pretty close. Both of us knew more than either one showed. One night you asked what I wanted from us. I changed the subject and laughed it off. Thought there'd be time when I figured things out. Didn't understand what my silence would cost. Maybe we needed one honest answer. Maybe one word could have changed what we knew. Fear kept me waiting for something much safer, while I kept getting much closer to you. Could have been more than a memory now. Could have been something we both figured out. We had the feeling but not enough nerve. Wanted each other but waited for words. I won't pretend that I didn't care. Part of me knew there was something there. Years later, one question stays with me still. Could have been us if we'd said what we felt. Saw you again at a friend's wedding day. Someone beside you was holding your hand. You looked content, and I meant when I said I was glad life had been good to you then. We talked a little about where we had gone, careers and families and friends moving on. Before you left, you gave me that look, the one that reminded me what we once understood. This time I knew there was nothing to change. Some doors are closed when the years move ahead. Still I was grateful we had that small moment. No need to ask what was better unsaid. What we once had doesn't need to return. Some kinds of regret become lessons we learn. You found a life that is good for you now. I found my own way of living somehow. Still, if I think of the choices we made, I know there was love that we never could name. Not every story becomes what it should. Ours was a chance that might have been good. I've stopped imagining different conclusions, stopped asking questions that no one can prove. What we avoided taught me to be honest. With anyone else, I might someday choose. If love comes close, I won't wait for permission or hide every feeling until it's too late. You were the reason I learned that lesson, even though learning it came after change. I hope you're happy wherever life took you, and I can remember without asking you back.
Spent too much time trying to prove what I feel. Thought making sacrifices made love more real. Gave without asking what you truly needed. Kept saying yes when I should have listened. Then you looked at me and quietly said, love shouldn't leave either one of us less. You never asked me to give up my plans, never expected me to follow demands. Still I kept changing the life that I knew, thinking each choice showed devotion to you. One evening you asked why I'd stopped seeing friends, why every answer depended on us. Couldn't explain when I started to change, only knew something no longer felt right. Maybe devotion is more than surrender. Maybe it means letting both people grow. Standing beside you should never require me to lose every part of the person you know. Anything for you but not losing myself. I'll give you my time, not put dreams on a shelf. Tell me you need me, I'll answer with care. Ask me for honesty, I'll always be there. Love should make room for the lives that we choose, not leave one person with everything to lose. Anything for you that helps us stay true. That's how I wanna keep loving you. Since then we've learned how to ask before giving. Stop keeping count of who carries the weight. You took that trip that you'd wanted for years. I stayed behind without turning to fear. Later I started the work I delayed. You gave me space without feeling replaced. Being apart for a little while showed closeness can grow when we both get to grow. Now when you need me I ask how to help you, instead of deciding what's best on my own. Care can be simple when people speak clearly. Trust lets us stand without holding too close. Take what I offer because you can use it. Give what you can without owing me more. Keep your own wishes and tell me about them. I'll be the person who opens the door. We can be generous without disappearing. Stay independent and still share a life. Nothing I give should become an obligation. Nothing you need should be hidden inside. There was a time I confused love with giving, until there was little of me left to share. Now I understand that a lasting connection needs to hold people who willingly care. I'll make you room when you need your own choices. Speak when I struggle and listen when you do. If sacrifice comes, we'll decide it together. Never assume what the other should lose. I still would do almost anything for you, as long as loving you leaves room for me.